Okay, let me make sure we are all live and well and good here. Okay, yes, we are. Okay, excellent. Hi, everybody. This is Ryan Lanier. My business is Organizing for Good. And most Thursdays, I have the best time bringing you the nonprofit shout out interview. Every single week, I like to get in touch with area nonprofits that are doing such amazing work that you need to know so you can love on them and support them and be inspired to do more good. So I'm so excited. I have Mimi Stiles here, founder and president of Measure Austin. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for creating the space to come and talk.
Well, welcome. It's literally the most fun thing ever. So anyway, just to get started I want to hear all about who you are, about your nonprofit, and who and how you serve.
Thank you. Yeah, Mimi Stiles. And yes, that is my real name. That is why I married him. I always say that, or his last name. And funny enough, I told him when we were 14 years old that I was going to marry him for his last name, and I did just that. So just tells you how focused I am. But no, so I get to be the president and the founder of this amazing research and public education organization called Measure. We are data activists, and it's an organization ran by mostly Black women. And what we do is we provide free data and equitable evaluation services to people of color-led organizations, but we also provide our same services to everyone, no matter who you are. But yeah, that's who we are, and that's what we do.
And this is a very niche nonprofit. I mean, this is something I've not heard that much about, and I would love to know a little bit of backstory about how you got started with this. Very important work.
Yeah, absolutely. So back in around 2014, 2015, I was working with another local nonprofit activist organization, and we were really doing work around police accountability, around disrupting police brutality, and leading marches, and having these very intentional conversations about what it looks like to understand trust. And so I was put on a panel with the then police chief, with the mayor, with several other organizers, city council members, etc. But I knew when I got on that panel, I was supposed to show up in a different way. I was placed on that panel because I was I was the Black woman activist, right? And so I was very cognizant of that. And so instead of showing up that way, and I led the conversation in a different way. I started asking questions about data. And this is before data was sexy, right? And so, when it comes to social issues. And so I started asking questions about, like, where's the data? What's the survey methodologies that you guys are doing to assess community sentiment, understand how community is, feeling? Like, what's the data? What are the metrics? What are the measures that are assessing positive policing, et cetera? And so it went from that conversation, and, the mayor, and he'll tell you the same story, was, like Mimi said, what are the measures? What is the data? And so from there, I then was urged to create a solution. And so my solution was Measure.
Oh. It's what I love about so many of the nonprofits I interview is that there's someone who saw something wrong, or a need, or a problem, or something, and couldn't walk away from it. Like for you, it was like, this can be measured. Like, with this information, if I dive in and provide information like this could go somewhere. Ooh, that's incredible.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we believe at Measure that, lived experience data, that's that qualitative, rich data. Even quantitative data isn't used effectively for social change. And so, and that's because of historical, structural racism, the lack of accessible data tools,
Yeah.
the lack of village support and technical support to organizers. And so, while we do several things, we also have like a program that's intentionally focused on protecting Black girls. Our main work is really about providing that structure and that technical support, that equitable evaluation support to Black and Brown led organizations, removing all barriers and doing it for free.
That's incredible. Education is, first, and data. People listen to data, right? And I've learned a lot through doing this nonprofit. I mean, I did not know before interviewing Black Mamas ATX that Black and Brown women are statistically higher in death rates of their babies and themselves. And I was just like, that is so wrong. It's so wrong. So this is another, must be right in line with what you are working towards as well.
Yeah, and we've done work with Black Mamas ATX as well. I mean, on every, on all the statistics, people of color always come in, in with disparate outcomes. But it's really important to understand that the root issue of why, and recognizing that the root the root of the problem is institutional and structural racism. And so in order to address that, we need to do better. We all need to do better. And so that's really what Measure's doing, is we're trying to do our part in elevating the voices of those that are experiencing these disparities, but in a way that is that ensures that we're not placing the blame on the people, but instead we're placing blame on the system.
Yes. Excellent. I love the root, like you said. That's incredible. So we got a few hearts. Yes, Karen's watching. She sent some hearts. Trying to think of, I want to know more about where you're focusing on young Black and Brown girls.
Okay.
And kind of how you serve them, and what has COVID done to present, challenges or opportunities, as we found sometimes, like meeting on Zoom actually works. So just how are you bringing this to life?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. So, in the latter part of 2019, like right before COVID was a big thing, right? We were the first winners of the Social Innovation Grant from Impact Austin. They are incredible. We love Impact Austin.
Shout out. Excellent.
Yes, an incredible group of women. And so we presented a program called the Innocence Initiative. And right now, the Innocence Initiative is an award-winning program that's all about addressing adultification bias. And a lot of folks are like, well, what is that? Adultification bias.
I was going to ask that very question. So thank you.
Absolutely. I love informing folks about what this is. So in 2017, a study was done at Georgetown University that found that all people, not just Black people, not just white people in general, look at Black girls as less innocent, starting at the age of 5 years old, as needing less protection, needing less love, as hypersexualized, as more culpable for their actions, starting at the age of 5 years old, as compared to white girls. And so that then can translate to the overcriminalization rates that we see for Black girls, or Black girls being suspended more, or Black girls being flipped over in their seats in high school, or Black girls being, looked at as the one that's starting the trouble, or all of these negative stereotypes. And so we came together with a group of other really great nonprofits, Community Advocacy and Healing Project, Girl Scouts of Central Texas, Lone Star Justice Alliance, Hearts to Heal. We just really came together to launch the Innocence Initiative. And it was all about training lawyers. It was all about, so far we've been able to train over 900 lawyers on how to identify adultification bias and what that looks like to protect Black girls. We partnered with the Austin Women magazine. We produced a really cool comic book was dispersed to over 15,000 homes about just celebrating Black girls. Partnered with a great church called Greater Mount Zion, just to share more about what it looks like to support and love Black girls. And so we're continuing the work of the Innocence Initiative. We're now going to be laser focusing on what it looks like to protect the Black girl that has been hypersexualized, though. So the trafficking victim, that's who we're going to be focusing on very soon, with a very cool couple of partnerships that we're gearing up to announce.
Like you really got, I mean, just listening to what you're touching on here is huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, it's definitely something that we have to understand that, the atrocities of the enslavement of Black people, it lives in everyone. So how it's impacted, me, it's also impacted you. And no matter what who we are and what we look like on the outside, it's embedded in us, right? Like 450 years of this pain done to a certain population of people, we still have those biases that live within us. So even myself, I have to grapple with, once, I may look at a Black girl and be like, oh, she's this or she's that, and unconsciously do it just automatically. So it's really about recognizing those biases that live within us and working to do better, because and working to do better. I have daughters. I have a 22-year-old daughter and I have a 10-month-old daughter. Yes.
You do not. You're only 23, so I don't know how you manage that.
I love it. I am. I am just, and all I want to do is make sure that they are protected at every stage.
And their friends, I'm sure, that's incredible. So yeah, wow. The Innocence Initiative, that is really, really incredible. Now, how do you get support to do what you do?
Yeah, that's such a great question. So, I mean, also historically, because of all of the things, Black women-led organizations, we get like 1% of all philanthropic support, and it's just terrible. It doesn't make any sense, because in many cases, we are the ones that know our community more than anyone. But because of all of the issues, we are not funded. So we really do lean on the support of donors, the support of people that find it in their hearts to we need to do better, and we need to fix these historic structural systems that have been totally shattered. And so we rely a lot of our support on what we call our empowerment circle. So the next 2 years, we're really trying to, get at least 200 people to sign up to be a part of the empowerment circle, where they're giving consistently every single month, so that we're able to have sustainable funding. It's another thing. It's, folks may give once or twice, but it doesn't create a sustainable structure for Black and brown led organizations. So that's really how we move forward. But we also do have our consultative services at Measure, where we support all organizations, and a portion of that goes to our mission work of protecting Black girls, of giving free data support, of hosting conversations and public education and awareness about how to fight back against racism.
I hear that theme a lot with the nonprofits I interview as well, is that it really is the best way to create a sustainable, like a giving over time, like a repeated giving. And that word was not coming out, but a one-time donation, wonderful, absolutely would never turn it away. But, for budgeting purposes, for planning purposes, everybody needs to know you got your paycheck coming in, and what are you going to do with that? So it's actually something I would like to sit and think about for a little bit, and really talk about finding the nonprofit or the group that you just can't stop thinking about, right? I mean, we all have, there's so much need.
Yeah.
There's homelessness, you know, there's so many different things, right? And you want to, I mean, I know I do, I want to help everybody, right? But really, it's impactful to pick something and dial in. And I'm not saying you got to start your own nonprofit, because there's so many amazing ones out there, but still, like, what group just makes your heart sing? Is it kids? Is it moms? Like, what is it? And then really stick and support them really deeply, right? So that's just not just talking about measure, but just saying, that's just kind of been coming to my head, right? That's my problem. That's why I do all these interviews, because I want to hear about everything. But I was really into RAM, the settlement home for children, for us, an incredible institution. They're having their garage sale coming up soon, and I just am blown away by when people come together, what change they can make. So how many people talk a little bit about a day in the life of Measure.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're run by mostly Black women, and then we also have this incredible Black man who's our chief of technology. We're kind of going full speed ahead right now at Measure 2. We were just selected as a 2022. So I'm a fellow for MIT. And we are a solver team for MIT's anti-racist technology solution. So we are launching this solution called Nexus, which is a cloud-based social media meets Microsoft BI platform where Black and brown people of color led organizations can use it to connect to one another. They can follow one another and see what social impact they're making. They can also upload their metrics and share their metrics. And so it's really the goal behind this tech solution, Nexus, is to be a force multiplier of change. When Black and brown, when people of color led organizations come together, historically and forever, like, we do great work. And so this solution is really about formalizing that, giving people what they need online, so that it provides that technical support, that foundational support that hasn't been there. So right now we're just, again, we're full speed in the development of this solution. We're going to run into the pilot real soon. At the same time, we're mentoring Black girls. And at the same time, we're providing full support to several organizations. So far, we've been able to do over 3,000 hours of free data and evaluation support to POC-led organizations. That's translating incredible. To over $50,000 in investment back to our community. So when we get funding, it goes right back.
When you say full speed ahead, you're not even kidding. You are like, let's go. That is absolutely incredible. Wow. So many things. I think at this point it's appropriate and important to hear, other than the empowerment circle, like, what kind of support do you want from the public?
Yeah, so there's always different ways to lean in, right? I mean, for me, it's about maybe coming on as a volunteer. If you have some sort of expertise that could be super helpful. For Measure, it's, we are tech driven, we're data driven, so we're always looking for people that are the same way, right? If you are a Black woman and you just want to mentor a girl, we're the place to go. If you are a person that is just interested in communications and maybe you can help write copy, or you can read over a document before it goes out to the public and ensure that there's no grammatical errors. I mean, there's so many things, there's so many ways. And the cool thing about Measure is that we have a model called CARE. It's called the CARE model: Community, Advocacy, Resilience, and Evidence. And all the things that we do is wrapped around this care model, right? Even the volunteer base. So if you are a person that's into community, or communications or connecting, you would volunteer as a C, community. If you are an advocate or a lawyer or someone that has some skills like that, you would go for A. Resilience are like our social workers or teachers. And then evidence are our data folks, our analyzers, our mathematicians, our data scientists. And so you just choose, say I have 4 hours to give a month and I want to be a C, then we're able to really mobilize you in a few different groups.
That's brilliant. That is really brilliant. I think people have trouble identifying where and how they would give. And I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, that's me. Or, oh, I don't know some, so then you can easily say, can I just take a moment? You're so smart. You're so, wow. I always meet the most amazing people on these interviews and you are no exception. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are you in cahoots with Black Women in Business at all? Do you know?
Oh yeah, Rose Smith. She's a mentor of everyone. She's so incredible.
Her heart from her top of her scalp to her toenails. I mean,
yes.
Wow. Yes.
She's one of the first women that I met and I reached out to when I first moved out to Austin. So she has been a sister of mine for quite a few years now. And she is definitely a mentor that myself and several of my peers look up to.
Oh, I don't doubt. Oh, it's coming back to me now. Because 2 weeks ago I interviewed her and I had it wrong. I thought that you guys were the next week. And I usually say at the end who the next week is. And I said Measure Austin. She was like, oh, so it's all coming back. I was wrong because it was something different last week. But anyway, it's all just so is there anything I have not asked you about that you would love to share before we wind down? I feel like we could sit here and talk for 6 hours and just this little tiny piece of paper. There's so many things I really want to think about in here, but just with the time we have left, what would you want to share? I always love, something that touches our heart with a girl or a situation that you guys were able to bring to light, or, some aha or just something.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's always something, right? That inspires me to do this work every single day. For me, it's really about, looking into the eyes of my baby girl and my big girl, and just, wanting to make sure that I create a space for them to just be authentically who they are every single day, to show up with their crowns every day. And, I would like to tell you about, very, very soon here, Good Measure. This is an organization that is doing some really incredible things. They're a collaboration of givers and of foundations that are coming together and that come together every year to give greatly, and to further the work of data and evaluation in Austin. And so I am going to be their keynote speaker coming up here on November 4th. So super excited about all the work that Good Measure is doing. And also want to shout out just a couple of other folks that are really getting it right? So like St. David's Foundation, incredible when it comes to using data and encouraging our community to use data for social good. And for me, it's really for social great, right? Because data is, although sometimes we may not find the words, we can find the numbers, and that those numbers can really highlight the issues that we have. And so just really excited about the continuing of how philanthropy in Austin is working to do better. And just encouraged about all the conversation around it. So yeah, if you are a person that likes data, that's interested in giving great, tune in to Good Measure this week coming up on the 4th.
Is it a virtual event or?
Yeah, they're having a virtual event November 4th.
And how would we like or follow or check into that?
Yeah, so I believe you can, I think it's if you Google it, Good Measure Austin,
Okay.
they should have all that information there on their page.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. What an honor, and an honor for them to have you, because yeah, I don't know. I just want to listen to every single thing you have to say. So, wow, just thank you so much for coming on today, number one, and then just waking up every single day and furthering education on such a large scale. This is just incredible work. I've learned so much today. I didn't even know about, and looking forward to looking into more. So, is there any other entities that you want to shout out? Because I love that. I'm going to add that to my interview now. Who are we going to shout out? Who is really like come together with you guys that just needs another rah rah?
Well, I think I'll always mention, first of all, MIT. They have been great. My whole Solver team, my whole Solver cohort, that it's a global network at this point, and we are all doing some really cool work. So MIT, love the support that they've been giving our organization.
Higher education is so powerful.
Yeah.
So powerful. Wonderful.
Yes, MIT Solve. And then also locally, it's really important to shout out the Black Leaders Collective. This is a group that is run by Sharonda Robinson and then Terry Mitchell, and just all of the organizations that are of the Black Leaders Collective. Organizations that people may not have heard of too, right? Like Man and Me. Oh, they run by Isaac Rowe. They are so cool. Like they are working to fatherhood power build so that dads are just equipped and ready to thrive and love on their kids. Like it's just, there's so much good work in Austin. It's really hard to
I agree.
point.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, I love that, because you're going to have know things that we possibly never know. So, gosh, thank you so much. I didn't really ask about, did COVID change things for you? I'm totally missed that question.
Yeah.
Being
No,
that you're data driven, I mean, I don't know, but you said your mentorship program. I mean, were there huge challenges there? And
oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely and absolutely. And COVID really, again, it made it so that we showed up for our community in a more specific and intentional way. We knew that we needed to protect Black girls, right? But we also knew that Black girls were going to be very disproportionately impacted by COVID-19 because they're already disproportionately impacted. And so that's actually the reason why we started our mentorship program in partnership with Hearts to Heal. So yes, COVID did. But then it also gave us the opportunity to do lots of virtual work. So we were actually able to scale our organization during COVID because of the newfound virtual space, which it's always been there, but we didn't realize that we can use it in such a way.
For sure. Yeah.
Unexpected good out of such a horrible time.
Right. Excellent. Okay, well, I think that, we're either gonna wrap up here or talk for 6 more hours. So I think we should wrap it up. This has just been such a treat. Mimi Styles, I mean, come on. It's too good. You just want to wear your name tag everywhere. Anyway, well, thanks so much for your time today. And it's always just so educational and fills my heart. Just, big time to hear from you guys. So thanks. Hope to talk to you again soon for sure. So the nonprofit shout out interview, it takes a break on the first the first Thursday of the month, which is next week. Yes, November is next week. I don't know how that happened, but we will be taking a break and we'll be back after that. So please check us out on our YouTube channel. And definitely, when this interview touches you, like and share all the social media for Measure and learn something. I challenge you to learn something that you didn't know and stick your neck out a little bit, because that's the only way we're going to do this together. So anyway, thank you, Mimi. Thanks for everybody for watching. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks.